Whatever time of the day you're watching this broadcast, this is Dr. Eric Tangumonkem with IEM Approach, where we inspire, equip, and motivate people to discover God's great potential in them, develop that potential, and deploy it. The purpose for the potential that's in you, the reason why you are developing yourself is because you have a particular assignment that only you can carry it out. You are developing yourself to render goods and services that will benefit other people. That is the reason you are here. And it's time for you to rise up to the occasion and do that which only you can do. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. If this is your first time, welcome. Do me a favor. Share this broadcast with other people. Invite other people to join us. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you're not following me on Facebook, if you're not following me on LinkedIn, please do. Great content is coming your way. It's free content. And if you are moved to help, if you want to appreciate what you're watching, what you've heard, if it's made a difference in your life and you want to make a difference in the lives of other people, I encourage you to share. We have some resources that we are offering as well. You can support us by getting some of these resources. This is the resource we're using for these 52 days that we are talking about, 52 different strategies that will position you as an immigrant to excel, that will position you as an immigrant to overcome all odds. All odds, it means all odds. Perceptions of other people, stereotypes, obstacles, failures, whatever is going to be thrown at you, you will be positioned to get to the top. You already have what it's going to take for you to win in you. That is why you packed your bags and moved from wherever you were born. And now you've moved into a different country. It is not everybody that can do that. It's very challenging. However, you cannot stop pushing yourself. You cannot stop growing. You've come this far not to end on the way. It's time for you to rise up, rise up, rise up and conquer, rise up and occupy. You may be wondering why I put this together. You may even be wondering, why bother to talk about some of the topics that we've already covered? The reason is that it is not enough for you to show up. Showing up is just the beginning of the journey. Showing up is not guaranteed that you're going to succeed. Showing up is not enough. You have to be prepared. You have to get yourself ready. When you do that, you are going to succeed. You are going to get to the top. The other reason is this. A lot of immigrants have come before you. They have made a lot of mistakes. You can avoid these mistakes. You can move faster. You can do better by learning from those that have gone ahead of you. If I'm not mistaken, it's Newton who said that we can see the future by standing on the shoulders of the giants who have gone ahead of us. You can see far by standing on the giants of those who have come ahead of you. You are not the first immigrant. You are not the last immigrant. There are many people that have walked this path. And as it is said, success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Do you want to be successful? Do you want to stand out? Do you want to make a difference? Look for those that have been successful and mirror the principles that they used. It's crucial for you to avoid making mistakes that other people have already made. You are going to make mistakes. However, it's not smart repeating mistakes that other people have already made. And that's why this conversation is for you, the newly arrived immigrant, and you who may be an immigrant and you've been here for quite a while. If you've not put your house in order, we are going to be talking today about having a will. Yeah, it is the law that you have to pay taxes, but it doesn't say that you should leave a tip. In other words, you need to be proactive. You need to get your house in order. It's very important. I know in some cultures, they don't talk about death. They don't talk about end-of-life issues. And even when people have a will, when they pass on, those wills are never respected. It is different here in the United States. You don't want the government to come in and try to put your things in order if you were to die. And talking about death is part of the human experience. And I want to put this up front because many cultures are uptight when death is mentioned and they don't talk about death. Having a will does not mean that you're going to die. Having a will does not mean that you're going to precipitate your death. Having a will does not mean that you are calling, in quotes, bad luck to come your way. Having a will is showing that you are forward thinking. It's showing that you want to be in charge of your affairs. King David wrote this very powerful psalm that I want you to think about it. It says in Psalms 90:12, so teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. So teach us to number our days that we may have a heart of wisdom. Do you want to be wise? Wisdom is going to take you to the top. One way to be wise is to number your days, is to face your mortality, is to reckon with the fact that 99.999999 humans that have lived on earth have all died. Nobody has escaped. Apart from Enoch and Elijah, those are the only two people that got caught up, that did not experience death. Everybody else has died. In fact, every century, so every 100 years, most people check out. It's not something to dread, especially for those of you that have reconciled to God. You understand that to be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord. Death is not the end, but you need to prepare. You need to number your days. Numbering the days is recognizing the fact that even if you're going to live up to 100, you can work out the math. If you are 50, then you are halfway gone. If you are 60, 40 more years. If you are 90, 10 more years. There are no guarantees. Death happens, and it can happen suddenly. That is why it's important for you to have a will. You don't need to be very rich to have a will. You don't need to have a lot of property to have a will. You need to have a will. Because if you drop dead and the stuff you've worked for, if it's no will, you're going to lose everything. It's important that your bank accounts, your investments, wherever your money is, that if you're married, your wife, if you're not married, you need to figure out that this next of kin that will be able to manage your affairs when your time comes. None of us is going to escape. You are not going to escape. I'm not going to escape. It's appointed unto men once to die. It's appointed unto man once to die. And after death, judgment. There is an appointment with death for all of us. I don't want to spoil your day, but I'm just talking about the facts of life. If you want to be successful, if you want to be wise, you must number your days. You must face your mortality. You must understand that the clock is clicking on you. The day you are born, you start dying. Each passing day is taking you closer and closer to your grave. Each passing day, you are getting closer to the end. The clock is ticking. Time is not being added, it's being subtracted. This does not mean you shouldn't enjoy the fruits of your labor. You didn't mean have to get up and walk with your head down. Oh, I'm going to die. No. You take away the fear by preparing. And one way is to make sure you are having a will. Don't make the mistakes some do by putting people, their next of kin, maybe they pick somebody that is out of the country to put their affairs together. Those people may go to the embassy, they may not get a visa to travel. You need to factor in all that before you will your stuff to other people. Put your house in order. Organize your life. When you do that, you're going to have peace. When you do that, it's going to help you do well. You may be wondering, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do when it comes to putting a will together. We have Net Law. It's a service online that at a fraction of the cost of lawyers, you can put something together that you can update as time goes on. If you need help, we can talk about that as well. You need a will, because if you drop dead without a will, your bank accounts, investments, your house, and everything else that you've gathered together, it's going to be difficult to know what to do with them. You've changed into a different country. It's important you understand how things are done here and do it properly. If you don't have a will yet, this is a reminder for you who might have lived in this country for many years and you don't have a will. It's time to wake up. Don't let it happen to you. Be proactive and plan. And plan. It's going to take away the stress and the pressure on those that you love if something were to happen to you. Don't forget to number your days. When you number your days, it helps you let go of bitterness. It helps you learn how to forgive. It helps you let go of resentment. It helps you let go of envy and jealousy when you number your days. No matter what you are going through, you will understand that there is an expiration date. Everything will finally come to an end. It's going to bring you hope and not despair. And if you think about death, it frightens you and you are afraid and you are fearful, I want us to talk. Help is available. The number is 214-908-3963 or eternalkingdom101@gmail.com. eternalkingdom101@gmail.com. If you are afraid to die, if you are fearful when death is mentioned, don't live your life like that. Don't live your life like that. Help is available. You don't need to live in fear of dying, in fear of death. Death has been vanquished. Death has been conquered. It's possible for you to have eternal life. It's possible for you to overcome death as well. We can talk more about that if you want. Thank you so much for listening today. You've been listening to Dr. Eric Tangumonkem with IEM Approach, where we inspire, equip, and motivate people to discover God's great potential in them, develop that potential, and deploy it. Until next time, God bless you. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you have questions, let me get them.